That is good.
And engagement has gotten a little better. I see a lot of people starting to jump on to the podcast and really, see us for what we're doing. And, that's good to see that. Always good to see that.
Hmm.
All right, look like we live on both ends. Got the audio set up for both. Party put the links out there so people can catch it. Bill said he's gonna be late. This is episode 112 of First and Frame Rates. I didn't put the episode abbreviation in the title, but that's okay. People know what it is.
Hmm.
Um, Once again, it's myself. Bill said he's gonna be behind a little bit. He's doing a lot with his music career, so I don't expect him to be on time for the most part. So it's all good. We understand that, and we have DJ 81 coming at you guys again with the topics of pretty much this past weekend. Whatever we feel like talking about.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, that's just how it goes. Shout out to everybody who comes to listen to us either on iTunes, SoundCloud.
Wow, your
Um,
notifications are blowing up.
I know you see that, right?
No, I hear it.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
I'm like, damn,
Um,
I got great vision if I could see all that.
I know, right? Also, we're now on Google Play, so I'm gonna put that banner up, not that one. Put that banner up so people who are listening on YouTube they can click the link down in the description. If not, you can just go to Google and Google Podcasts and search us for First and Frame Rate. As soon as you search us, it'll pop up. So like I said, we're actually expanding on a broader level. So we're gonna try to keep it more consistent, slightly more professional, and we're just gonna continue to give you the best topics that we feel that are out there. We're not in the we're not in the business of clickbaiting you to death and just trying to get you to listen to us because the hot topics are out there. We do talk about current topics, but we talk about stuff that may seem kind of interesting, like what's going on with The Last of Us 2. They're looking for NVIDIA developers. Football is almost over. We don't count the Pro Bowl, but we do count the Super Bowl. And after that, the XFL is out there. So we're going to give you guys some insight on the XFL, the rules and our expectations. Um, Obviously, we're going to talk about the AFC and NFC games. I know DJ didn't get a chance to talk about that. When Bill's coming, he's going to talk about that as well.
Hmm.
Um, Delonte West, what happened to him recently in the past few days, and what our thoughts about him and other athletes who do fall off from grace after getting a substantial amount of money with playing the sports or whatever. So we'll talk about that. And I added Doom Eternal on the back end because Doom got a bad rap in 2016. It was a decent game. It was a very good looking game, but it didn't have any direction or story or anything. So I'm kind of curious at what they're going to do this time because they said they're putting more substance into it. And I liked Doom 2016. I thought it was, pretty fun to play, but it just didn't have anything on the back end. It didn't feel like a good story. So I hope they do deliver with that. Nevertheless, DJ, how have you been, my good man?
Well, things have been good. Just like I said, this weekend watched the NFC and AFC Championship. I went 0 for 2. I had already conceded the picks to the Bills before all that, so it didn't matter. I think I wanted to finish in third place. I think VF. I think you pulled ahead of me because I didn't win
Really?
any games this week. Yep, because you were one game behind me, and I just picked who I picked. Bills was already we picked the same team in the first game, and that pretty much clinched it right there. So I think you finished in second,
Right.
I finished in
Yeah.
third. So I
Yeah, because
closed off.
yeah, I can't remember who all I picked, but I think I picked both of the games right today this past week.
Yeah, I think you
And
did.
I
So
actually put in the Discord the actual in score of the game, and the Chiefs and the Titans 35-24. I didn't think it was going to be that accurate, but that was
yeah,
pretty neat.
I definitely have thoughts about that game. The other game I really didn't watch because it just got out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I kind of knew people talk about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a great talent. And I talked about this on Sunday when I did a stream. Aaron Rodgers is a good talent, but he literally did not have the weapons to combat the San Francisco defense, and that basically was the game. I mean, little do we know, it's like they could not move the ball until it was basically garbage time. I mean, that score was very. It was in some ways it was deceiving, but nevertheless, we'll get onto that mostly when Bills get here. We'll get on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Some other things that are happening. After this podcast on my channel, I got an upload schedule for State of K2. I'm starting season 2 of my Nightmare Zone, so you guys check that out. It'll probably pop up around 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, definitely go check out his streams. I mean, I'll check.
Actually, it's not a stream; it's just a regular upload.
Oh yeah, upload. You're not streaming. Okay. Yeah. Check that out either way. I mean, he puts out good content on his channel. There, we just both of us on the real. We both need to just start pushing our content more because I think at the end of the day, you and I mostly on the podcast, we do stuff that we find interesting. That if people actually look at it, it will be interesting. We just have to break that surface. It's like, give us 5 or 10 minutes, and more likely you'll be hooked because of what we're doing with our content. And that's the thing. A lot of people say the new game out there, and they're automatically going to watch something that somebody's playing new or something that's just, Madden sucks. So that's a hot topic. I'm going to watch that regardless. But we do stuff that make people, honestly be entertained once they look at us on the surface and take it, a few minutes to watch. Like, okay, I see what they're doing. This is actually pretty neat. So don't mind the banging in the back. My son has pots in the kitchen, so
he practicing to be a drummer.
Yeah, you hear that, right?
He's gonna get that music scholarship. He was like, "Fuck football."
I know, right? Pooh, what's going on?
It's actually easier to get the music scholarship. So.
Yeah, that is true. You're right. What's up, Pooh? What's up, Doom? Thank you guys for coming in as always. Doom has actually been pretty loyal to the podcast and actually to my content lately. I really appreciate that. My voice has gotten better, so I will be streaming. I will be streaming probably the Raiders tomorrow. I know NC State is the hot thing right now, but I need to catch up with the Raiders so their season could keep up with NC State. So when I'm ready to do draft classes, both seasons will be over. I won't be like waiting for one season and I have to play catch up because I have 5 games left.
Man, I remember I used to do that when I had games. It was just crazy because the games that I would literally be trying to rush through them, and I would just lose all sight of game plan and just common decency. So
that's what I would do too. Like I'll be playing NCAA games, play my bowl game, and I'll be like, "Oh crap, I'm in week 12 in the NFL, and I got to go back and finish those." So I don't want to do that. So,
but you know what I should be streaming is my NHL franchise. I know I did like a blog art post on that, and I did like a couple of videos, and I'm probably gonna post another update on the franchise mode because I went back, tinkered with some sliders, and
hey man, it's nothing wrong with being diverse. I mean, look, I do 2 football games. And on Saturdays, it's a free fall for me when I do mine. Like I was doing Modern Warfare 3 like a couple weeks ago. It's just it's nothing wrong with switching it up because my thing is, I mean, I think I said this the other day when I was doing the Saturday stream. I mean the Sunday stream. Yeah. I love sports, but I'm a gamer first. Don't get me wrong. I came into this area doing sports stuff, but my passion is truly just gaming. So I don't have all these games for nothing. I mean, I pop something up and just stream whatever, and I hope people, accept that because, just playing, Madden or playing, like you do, you play State of Decay, you play No Man's Sky, like just playing stuff outside of that, we've always been entrenched in the sim community, but our mind's always been expanded outside of that. I mean, it's just that's just what it is. So
the funny thing about it is just playing games like I was a little kid. Like I would play all these offshoot games that no one would be playing anyway. So this is just revamping all that back up.
Right. Yeah, and basically what it is. So all right, let's get into the XFL. February 8th, right? That's when they start. Not this week, But probably next week we'll actually dwell into the teams and actually see who's on what team. Maybe we can pick a favorite out of us three on the podcast. Maybe we can get some members in the that's in the chat. Pick a few teams that they like, so we can have a team that we can go throughout the season and we can
all. Everyone already knows it's the defenders for me. DC. The red, the white, and the ready to fight sound like some old rednecks. But anyway,
I know,
but
right?
it's actually the DC flag is the colors of the team. So
okay, see, we don't have a team down here in well, I'm not in Georgia, but we don't have a team in Atlanta like we have the AAF, and I need to find a team myself because I ended up going for like the Arizona team, and for the AAF because I just didn't like what the Atlanta Legends just look like a cheesy team, But nevertheless,
well, you could have gone with Birmingham while they.
Well, that's true, and I did like their quarterback. Perez was actually pretty good. Let's see. February 8th is when the league starts, and this is going to be a new league. Obviously, well, it's an old new league, and they're basically trying to give us something that's kind of a void. Yes, the college football is here, the NFL is here, but there's that drought where we're waiting for the combine, waiting for the draft, and waiting for training camp. The AAF did a very good job of placing their season in the right area. It's just they had other issues on the outside, but the XFL actually look like they can be okay, just like we said earlier. I know you said it, DJ, if they just stick to football. So we're going to talk about the rules. We're going to talk about the expectations we may have. For the most part, we're going to talk about just basically they have 5 gameplay innovations when it comes to kickoff, point after touchdown, the actual punt, double forward pass, and overtime. They got a lot of rules here, so we're not going to go through all of them. They got a lot. I didn't realize they had this much.
Yeah, when as soon as I popped up the website, I was like, "Ain't no way I'm gonna fall in and be able to regurgitate all this out." And not all of it, but
wait a minute.
Yeah, what's up?
No, what it is the rules up here in the front, but if you scroll down, it just looks longer. So we're just going to talk about something that actually looks interesting because it makes it look longer than what it is. But kickoffs, we're definitely going to talk about that because kickoff is a big topic in the NFL.
Yeah, because we kind of went over it a little bit in a past episode. So that I remember saying something about that being all about player safety. So that was my biggest take for the kickoff.
Right. So I'm not going to pull up the screen because I only have one screen and my iPad is not charging right now. So I usually put a screen so everybody can see it. So DJ, do you mind putting the rules in the link so people can get them?
Let's see.
If you can, I'll do it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. With that being said, the kicker kicks from the 25-yard line and must kick the ball in the air, and they must kick the ball in the air and in play between the opponent's 20 and 20, between the opponent's 20-yard line and the end zone. So what happens is, if the ball goes out of bounds and the kick falls short of the 20-yard line, it is an illegal procedure, obviously, and the ball will go to the 45-yard line. The coverage team lines up on the return side 35.
Wait, hold up. Stop 1 second.
Okay, go ahead. You good?
Go back to the out of bounds kick, and the kicks fall so the 20-yard line. It says the ball will be placed on the kicking team's 45-yard line, and not the receiving team's 45-yard line. So you gotta keep that bitch in bounds.
Yeah, because you know what? Because that's the thing. We're so used to the NFL being like, okay, illegal procedure be on the receiving team's 40. So that's what I thought. Also, I just thought it would be on the receiving team.
Yeah, they're penalizing. They're really penalizing because the kicker.
Yeah, they're penalizing the kicker.
Getting it past the 20-yard line. If you can't get it past the 20-yard line, which every kicker should be able to, but where are they kicking off from again? They're
kicking from the 35.
Yeah, he should be able to at least get it past the 20.
If you don't get it past the 20, then you don't need to be a kicker. But nevertheless,
exactly.
Coverage team lines up on the 35-yard line. No, they return. No, hold on. Back up. Kicker kicks from the 25.
Oh, Never mind.
So it could be a Hey, listen, this could be a possibility that a lot of illegal procedures possibly could happen.
No. But here's the thing: it has to go out of bounds before the 20-yard line in order for it to be illegal procedure. It can land. It
can land beforehand. Right. Okay, I got you. Okay, so the coverage team will land on the return side 35, and the return team will be on the 30-yard line. Each team must have exactly 3 players outside the hash marks, both sides of the ball, and they cannot move until the ball is caught by the returner. Okay, let's see. If the ball is down, okay, that's a major touchback. They'll be on the 35. Okay, that's nothing. Ball bounces inbounds, then out of the end zone. Okay, if the ball is inbounds, then it goes out of bounds.
Wait a minute.
They don't get that 45-yard line. The ball will be on the 15-yard line of the return team.
Inbounds and then out the end zone, or is down in it. No, if it goes in the end zone.
No. Yeah. But just think about it. Now go back. Now look. If the ball is kicked in the end zone and is down, that's a major touchback. The ball will go to the 35. Now, if the ball is down in the end zone, let's just say, for instance, if the ball just goes out of bounds in the end zone, or let's just say if the ball goes out of bounds, if it's inbounds and goes out of bounds, it goes to the 15-yard line. So if a player on the return team touches the ball and it goes out of bounds, the ball is spotted where it went out of bounds. That's interesting.
So it kind of like, if it's touched by a player, obviously it becomes live. I remember the NFL with their kickoffs, the ball was always live,
right?
No matter if it went through the end zone, went into the end zone or not. If
as long as it's in play, it's always a live ball.
Right.
This one is like it's not live until somebody touches it. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, if the team wishes to return it, well, that would make sense. The ball can't be live until the team touches it because the kicking team is already at the 35. So that'll be like an onside kick every time. So they
can't move until the receiver catches it.
Right. So it can't be a live ball until they touch. Okay, I got it. If a player on the return team read that. If the team wishes to run an onside kick, it must indicate to the official before the play, and 2 teams will be permitted to line up the traditional way. Okay, gotcha.
There will be no surprise onside kicks. All right, Ian Cummings.
Yeah, right. Boom goes the dynamite, right? So current NFL college rule. The ball kickoff from the 35, 5 players on each side of the ball. Yeah. The ball can be kicked out of the end zone for a touchback or out of bounds when we place it at the 40-yard. So if they kick it out of bounds and nobody touches it and it goes to the end zone, so I guess that will be on the 40. College kickoffs at 35 allows the return to make a touchback. Fair catches at the 25.
Okay, and let me read this part because the rationale I've already kind of highlighted was player safety. So with that, it says, with a goal to eliminate safety issues with kickoffs, the NCAA and NFL created more opportunities for touchbacks. The increase in touchbacks naturally leads to fewer returns, which means fewer meaningful plays. The XFL's proposed rule change will encourage more kick returns while making the play less dangerous by eliminating the 30-yard sprint to collision.
Okay, well, that's true because if all the players are already on one side, it does it does give them an incentive to run the ball, and players won't get hurt as much because nobody's like flying down the field.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of a jump ball situation,
right? Except for the other team's getting the ball. Right.
Nothing can start until the other team fields the ball.
Right. That's actually, when you really think about it, I want to see this in place, but right now it doesn't sound like a bad idea. It's way better than what the XFL used to do when they just throw the ball at the 50 and they used to run to get the ball as if it was a fumble.
Yeah. They called it what they call it? Fumble-rooski?
Yeah, fumble. It was fumble-rooski or tumble-fumble, something like that.
Whatever the case.
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that was more dangerous than actually doing the kickoffs.
Right.
Reach in there for arm and then you separate your shoulder before the game even starts.
Oh yeah, right. Let's see. You want to read the point at the touchdown, or you want to go into the punts? Because I think we touched the point. No, we touched
Yeah,
about.
we went into we went into it as far as the point after, so
Yeah, we talked.
they can listen to a past episode on that
Yeah,
one.
we talked about that one already. What about punt? You want to read that one?
Okay. All right. So the XFL rule on punts, it says the punting team cannot release past the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked. So that's kind of like a current NFL thing.
Right.
Gunners must line up at the line of scrimmage and are permitted to move laterally once the ball is snapped until it is kicked. So let's see.
Okay, that's interesting.
So okay. So they can do jukes and stuff like that, just to whatever, and then they can't once what is it? Once the ball is snapped until okay. All right. So the third one is defenders over the gunner cannot cross the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked. Makes sense. That's common sense. That'll be like
Right.
neutral zone infractions and stuff like that. All
Right.
right. So if the ball goes out of bounds inside the 35,
Wait a minute. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
go back.
They can't cross the line until the ball is actually kicked, not snapped, but kicked. So
It kind of goes with the gunners not being able to move until it's kicked.
oh, the defender's over the gun. I'm thinking about the guys on the line. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, because the gunners can move laterally once the ball is snapped. But hold on. Can move laterally once the ball is snapped until it is kicked. Gunners must line. I'm just reading back. It says gunners must line up at the line of scrimmage and are permitted to move laterally. It's just like motioning.
Right.
Until it is kicked, and then they release down the field.
Okay.
So here we go with the major and possibly minor touchback. So if the ball goes out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, it is a major touchback, and the ball goes to the 35-yard line.
Okay.
So, and then if a punted ball lands in the opponent's end zone or goes out the end zone, the result is a major touchback, and the ball goes out to the 35-yard line.
Now, see, that's the opposite. That's the opposite of the kickoff. Because if the kickoff does that, it goes to the 15.
Well, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Just the punts go to the 35, but the kickoffs, if it goes out of bounds or a touchback goes out, basically if they don't down the ball, they go to the 15. But on this, they go on the 35.
Mm-hmm. So it says fair catches are permitted, though de-incentivized. See rationale.
Go straight to the rationale because we already know. We already know what the current college rules are. We already know that.
All right, so rationale. Fans told the XFL they didn't like the amount of punts, specifically punts in their opponent's territory, and how many punts did not have a return. 40, and they give you numbers.
Put the percentage, yeah.
47% ended in fair catch, out of bounds, or touchback. So really nothing will happen in the NFL or any place else. So the XFL has instituted 2 rule changes to address these concerns. All out of bounds kicks create a touchback, major to 35, and no punt coverage players can release until the ball is kicked. This will create an average distance between the punt return and the nearest defender to 11 yards versus similar leagues of 6 yards, creating less reason to fair catch. Yeah, because in the NFL, you had that, even when, like, once the ball's punted and kicked, you had that 1 yard rule.
Right.
So that's even dangerous. All right, and then the XFL touchback changes will create less incentive for teams to punt in their opponent's territory. In the NFL and college, touchbacks go to the 20, so teams will risk less versus the XFL on punts. Our coaches will be incentivized to go for it on 4th down because there is a higher likelihood of a positive punt return and no ability to pin the receiving team with a
wow. That's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
I like that rationale. The last one, I like that. So that means more 4th downs or possibility more guys are running the ball once they get the ball on punts.
So and it kind of makes it, in a way, it kind of makes sense because if you think about the running clock,
right,
you have technically less time to do what you need to do on offense or defend on defense. If that clock is always running, instead of three downs and then punt, it's like 3 downs. Right. And if you're getting close, you're more likely to see somebody go for it on 4th down. So something like a Madden player's rationale.
Right. You'll see more of that in this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at a couple of guys in the chat. They talked about what we talked about so far. Ravens Nation said no surprise onside kicks, even though it does not happen often. It's still a part of creativity and innovation. Oh, they removed this rule later. It just depends. It just depends on how it's played out on the field. I mean,
and to tell you the truth, in the NFL, you can't really do it because nobody's moving except for the kicker.
Right.
So you used to be able to get away with it because everybody would act like they're lined up They would line up normally and would start sprinting down until the kicker would just pull up at the last second. You can't really pull that off now.
Right, exactly.
Whose notification? Is that your notifications going off?
No, it's just my phone. My phone. It's all good.
Buzzing.
Yeah, it was just buzzing.
The Houston Astros are calling.
I know, right? Also, Ravens Nation said that I don't mind fast-paced rules. I just hope these rules don't affect the defense. I'm tired of offenses having it easy.
It's actually I think it favors the defense because overall, both teams are going to have less time
to do stuff.
Right. So they're going to be on the field less. I'm like, it's a constant running clock. So coaches are going to be calling plays. You also got to look at the play clock. That's only 25 seconds.
But yeah, that's same thing.
So that's where it's like you have the running clock, and then it depends on when they start that play clock because you're talking about 25 seconds. You know, most time in the NFL, the clock starts at 40, and then it starts running the moment the end of the play. So by the time you get to, like, when you're watching on TV, by the time you get to them coming out the huddle, it's about like 13 seconds to go.
Right.
I know I have it set on Madden whenever I call a play. If I called it at like 20 seconds, it goes all the way down to 13 because that's a lot of dead time. And
yeah, mine is at 16.
XFL is trying to cut all the dead time from the game.
Right, because mine was at 16 when I played Madden. I do 16's accelerated clock 16. That's the same thing what Pooh was saying. He said, honestly fear for player fatigue levels of the XFL going so fast. But hopefully the XFL can have more longevity compared to the AF. I think they will. Just hope, long as nobody's stealing money. But I think they will. We're going to see. I think by week 4 we'll know because people they might not even prepare for it. Well, I know some guys in the AF wasn't really prepared, and you could tell in the first part of the first few weeks of the AF. But I think the XFL may be a little bit more prepared, and we'll see if them guys will be ready for this type of game on the field.
And honestly, I don't think it's going to affect their fatigue levels so much. I know Pooh's that's his biggest worry, but to tell you the truth, they're conditioned athletes. They'll be all right.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Double forward pass. This is really simple. Not going to dwell on this too much. If a team completes a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage, the team may throw a second forward pass as long as the ball has no time crossed the line of scrimmage. All right, okay, that's cool. All right,
yeah, because we touched on it in the past episode too.
Yeah,
we were like trying to
figure it out.
Yeah, it was just interesting that they want to do that. And in a way, technically in the NFL, you could do that. You could possibly. Because if you think about it, if you do an inside handoff, technically that's a forward pass.
Somewhat of, yeah. But I think
you can do the shovel pass. Let's just say for
instance, yeah. But let's just say for instance, if Drew Brees dropped back, throw the ball at Alvin Kamara, he's on the 31, but once he throws the ball, Kamara's on the 34, but he's still on the line. He's still in the line behind the line of scrimmage. He can't throw the ball again. I think that's what they're trying to get at. But it's kind of, I think it's a way that you can do it in NFL. I'm not necessarily sure. It has to be some type of way that we probably seen before but never even thought about. Overtime is way too convoluted. I don't want to get into that right now. I would want to do.
We actually did go into this.
Did we? Or did we do this after the podcast? I think we talked about this after. I don't think we did it on air. I think
we did it during the podcast. It sounded like, well, maybe we did it afterwards.
I can't remember, but I'm going to be honest, guys. People listening, people watching us, the overtime rules are way too convoluted right now. That actually deserves a segment in itself.
Right.
So I don't really want to get in. I mean, it is that will probably take another 15 minutes just to get through that.
But
That's
let's
just
but let's look at the rationale
that's
just
fine.
to throw that out there.
I'm here for that.
So the rationale for the overtime rules is that the NFL overtime can end in a tie, and a team's offense may never see the field. Overtime may also take up to 27 minutes to complete in the NFL. XFL overtime allows both teams to play offense in under 10 minutes and always has a winner.
Well, that's basically putting it in a nutshell.
Yep.
Outside of telling you exactly what happens, that right there basically telling you what it is. And
someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose. Ain't no halfway records in this.
And on top of that, everybody gets to touch the ball. So some clowns that are in the NFL don't have to be crying all the time. Oh, Drew Brees didn't touch the ball. We don't want to hear that. The other team scored a touchdown. I get it. The NFL rules are the NFL rules. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily want to see this implemented in the NFL. That will be complete chaos. Let the XFL have their thing. And I'm for this because it's the XFL. I mean, we kind of figured when they came back, it was going to be a little bit of outside of the box anyway. So,
yeah, XFL with that rationale was like, I said what I said. There will be a winner.
Right. What's going on, Quayface? Thank you for coming through. Timing changes. 25-second play clock, obviously. Let's see, comeback period.
Damn, the rationale was exactly what I said without even reading it. Damn.
Let's see, the XFL rule for comeback period. Let's see,
wait, hold up. What is this? A comeback period?
Yeah, I'm about to read it now.
Oh, so it's like, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the rule is it occurs after the 2-minute warning in each half. On plays that end in the field of play, the game clock will be stopped until the ball has been spotted and 5 seconds have run off the clock. Incomplete passes and out of bounds plays, the game clock will stop completely until the ball is snapped. So if you're trying to come back within the half, before the half, or before the game is over, the clock will be stopped until the ball is spotted, and 5 seconds have to run off the play clock. So if you're in the field of play, the game clock will stop, but when the ball is put back down by the ref, 5 seconds will run off the play clock. So you kind of got, it's kind of like a middle ground to where the clock is stopped, so you don't have to worry about running up and putting the ball down real quick and spiking the ball. But when that ball is put down and play is starting again, 5 seconds will run off the clock. So I think this gives you a chance to actually come back. Like the plays don't continue to, the clock don't continue to run. But let's say if you get a play and you get tackled in the field of play, the ball will be spotted, but you don't have to hurry. But the only thing about it is when that ball is spotted, 5 seconds is coming off the clock. So if it's 1:41 left, when you get time when the ball is spotted again, it's now 1:36. Like the clock is not necessarily running all the way through.
Now, with this, we're going to have to skip ahead to the timeouts because it actually mentions something about the comeback period and associated with the timeout. So okay, so timeouts, it says each team will have 2 1-minute timeouts per half. In NFL, that's 3 per half. So their rationale is that with our rule changes in the last 2 minutes, coaches should not need as many timeouts to help create a comeback.
Wow.
By eliminating 1 timeout per half, we limit the number of stoppages during the most exciting part of the game. If a play is reviewed and overturned by replay during a timeout, the team that took the timeout will not be charged.
Well, that's fair. But what they're basically doing, during the 2-minute period, they're creating chaos. They're basically creating chaos. It's like, look, even though we don't want you to run around and try to spike the ball or whatever, you're still at a disadvantage that the clock is still going to run against you. Now, on incomplete passes and out of bounds, obviously the ball, the game clock will still stop with the comeback period, so that's fine.
So just to link back to the comeback period, it is interesting that just the play clock, 5 seconds are running off, and not the game clock. That's why the rationale for the time.
Wait a minute.
The amount of time. Yeah, I'm reading it.
So,
that's why I jumped ahead.
So what I was saying earlier about the game clock being from 141 to 136, no. The game clock will stop until the ball is spotted. So this is what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
The game clock will continue to move once the ball is spotted.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of having that 25 seconds to call a play, you're now going to have 20 seconds to call a play.
No. You
think about it now.
You can call the play, but you can't get up to the line and snap the ball.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
The play clock is 25 seconds already. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. So at the 2 minute, when the comeback period, the 2 minute warning, there's a 20-second game clock at that point. That's if
virtually,
the ball is, yeah. That's if the ball is, if the play ends in the field of play. So yeah, you're gonna be, you really want to get out of bounds, but still, it's.
Wait a minute. So what is the rule about getting when your player is goes out of bounds?
So when the ball is out of bounds, it's just like the NFL. Everything stops.
Okay.
Because he said on incomplete passes and out of bound plays, the game clock will stop completely until the ball is snapped. So everything stops if they go out of bounds. But if the play is inbounds, they're gonna have to, actually pick up the pace, because the game clock. I mean, the play clock is actually is cutting by 5 seconds. And once the ball is put back down to be spotted, the game clock can start running again.
Oh, and just to let everybody know in the chat, just in case anybody was wondering, the way I'm approaching the questions that I'm asking, yes, I know about football, but I also am taking it from a casual perspective, somebody who doesn't know. So I'm trying to think of some of the questions that they would have that it could just pop up. Like a lot of the first thought questions that I would be able to answer myself, I'm just throwing them out there. So if it seems like I don't understand what's going on, that's because I'm switching my approaches when we were looking at this over.
Oh, yeah. And for me, I just basically want to try to make an explanation of everything that they're trying to say. I'm gonna hit the last part of this rationale part. It said a team cannot run out. I'm just going to paraphrase it. The team cannot run out the clock at the end of the game until the opponent has no timeouts and there's 1 minute left. 5-second runoff of the play clock. 20 seconds can be run off a play. See, that's exactly what I was saying. It's 20 seconds now. So basically, in the NFL, they can take 40 seconds. No, they basically cut this in half. Same thing with running game clock. Outside of 2 minutes, the game clock will run after. Oh, wait a minute. Outside of the last 2 minutes of each half. So not even talking any other time outside of the last 2 minutes, the game clock will still run at the completions and out of bounds plays.
Right.
Oh, wow.
That's why I say which the next section is running game clock.
I got you. Aside from incompletions and out of bounds plays, the game clock outside rules of the last 2 minutes the same in NFL. Okay. NFL rationale, the game is they're trying to keep the game under 3 hours. So I see that. Okay, we're gonna get the. Let me see. I'm not going to get into replay. I think that's another one we could talk about along with the overtime at another time. Let's see. Ravens Nation said this sounds like it's going to be Madden with 6-minute quarters with 25 seconds. It does.
Yeah, it does have that Madden players mentality, especially the competitive players, the way they
you know what?
play in tournaments.
Honestly, from looking at all this, I think people need to get the NFL out of their mind when they're looking at this. Because I think this is just, they're really trying to be a different league. And I'm okay with that, long as nothing is over the top different like they tried to do the first time.
Well, you can look at the kickoff rule and sit there and say, well, why did any geniuses in NFL think of that rule?
Right. See, this is the type of stuff that I'm okay with. Like when you're looking at stuff that's more, okay, this is a little hardcore because it's the XFL, but at the same time, it's somewhat innovative. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like for instance, let's say with the running game clock or the combat period part, that people like the NFL could literally, some teams can kill the game after the 2 minute warning if they just have the lead, or if they have a small lead, they just kneel down a couple times and the game's over. With this, you know, it's still gonna be some form of action, chaos, like what Pooh was talking about in the Discord. He was talking about in the Discord, and that's another thing. You guys need to, if you haven't already, straight up, y'all need to join the Discord, straight up. But anyway, Pooh was talking about in the Discord how he wanted an Aaron Rodgers versus Pat Mahomes Super Bowl. Straight up excitement all the way around. Even with these type of rules, you can have, you know, a quarterback that's not as good as, yeah, obviously these quarterbacks not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes, but even with these quarterbacks, they're still going to have to push the game. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to push the tempo. It's going to be excitement. So I'm okay with the XFL doing what they're doing because it's different. So I think for us, I think we kind of have to get that NFL mindset out of our heads because of what they're trying to do.
If you think about it, if you've watched a CFL game, that game is faster paced. I'm like,
right.
It has a bigger field,
right?
And there's constant scoring avenues, and they still have their goal posts at the front, at the goal line, and not, you know, in the back of it. So, but yeah, this is like a NFL regulation size field, faster type of game like CFL. So it's like combining those two aspects.
Yeah, you know what? It does have that kind of vibe that it's kind of trying to combine the two.
And now, I remember going to a CFL game. I remember when the Baltimore Stallions, when they were the Baltimore CFLers, because the Colts had some injunction placed on the team because they were trying to be the Baltimore Colts of the CFL. The only American team to this day to go to back-to-back Grey Cups and win it in the second year with mainly a run game and a passing league.
That's a trivia question. You know that could be a trivia question, a good one too.
Yeah, now I wouldn't think Ravens Nation would know anything about that.
Oh, shade.
If he could tell me who the starting quarterback was and who was the starting running back, then he gets bonus points. But I don't think he'll be able to do it.
All right, overtime and replay. Those are two hot topics when it comes to the NFL. And like I said,
no Googling, Ravens Nation. No Googling. I know you were probably doing that just now.
Like I said, overtime and replay are two hot topics in the NFL. And for us, we feel that the XFL it's going to be really a hot topic for the XFL too, because a lot of people want to know how that goes. What we're going to do, I'm not going to say that's going to happen on Thursday. More likely to probably be next Tuesday. I think this is another topic that could be another topic within itself, because that's a lot to cover between overtime and replay. But we do want to get it out of the way before the 8th. But I don't think we'll be here another 20 minutes talking about replay itself, because it looked like a lot right there. Basically, quick touches on these 5 common sense rules. 1 foot in bounds. I'm okay with it. I've always been a proponent of 2 feet in bounds just because of the art of the skill of catching. But 1 foot in bounds, I'm okay with that. Dedicated ball spotting official. There will be one official who will be dedicated to ball spotting. So that is interesting as well. So you don't have a bunch of refs trying to figure out where the ball is placed.
Yeah, because usually when you see players at the end of plays, they get up, they toss the ball wherever.
They try to move it, right?
They toss, and then the refs are tossing the ball towards each other, and then
because refs are all often talking to each other while they're trying to set the ball down. So if they have one dedicated to it, that'll be pretty interesting on that.
And then how many times have you seen a ref who's trying to get the ball that's supposed to be in play to get spotted in time with a running clock?
Right.
And they're just too busy, and then, yeah.
DJ, let me tell you something. I would not be surprised with the next year or the year after next, the NFL will. This is one rule I can see the NFL definitely implementing in their league. Easily. I can easily see them doing that.
Oh, I think Bills is ready to talk. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have him muted. I mean,
he was just. I think he just didn't want to interrupt the flow, which I can understand because I do that. I'm the one that does that more often.
No, he's good. I mean, I don't have him. I don't have him muted. He can come in at any time.
Unless he muted himself just recently, but.
Right. Let me see something. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I was wondering why our names weren't popped up, but the banner covers that. I never realized that. Like I said, I think this is something that the NFL will implement. easily. And then, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if college do this as well, because this rule is not necessarily technically a rule, but it's something that it give like fans and even the teams and coaches more transparency of where the ball should be, especially on plays where I want to challenge the spot of the ball. So I think this is something that will be the hell happened to Bills?
And he just dropped out.
Yeah, he just dropped out. Yeah. So I think this is an area where I will see this implemented with college and NFL within the next 2 years. This is an easy one. And this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. This is innovative stuff that I can see this happen. Player coach communication while still in, I think this is when in the 80s, I'm not sure. But I thought player coach communication where they had a receiver where they can talk to the coaches and they had a little radio in the helmet. But I thought that they took it out because defensive players will get that same radio and they could interfere and listen to what the coach and players say. I could be wrong on that, but I think they tried that in NFL before. I'm not sure. But that would be interesting if they do that.
Well, the other interesting part, I just wanted to get to this real quick, is that the broadcast partners will have access to this communication and could use it during the game. So
that would be interesting because people at home can listen.
We've kind of heard that, not in like the NFL or whatever, but I think
I think the AF tried this.
Yeah, they tried that too.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, I think the AF, but I'm not certain.
But I think the XFL may have did it before.
Yeah, in their league before. They could have tried it before. Because I think the NFL, I'm not certain. I think the NFL tried this, but the defensive players will get that same radio and they would turn their frequency to listen to what and that's how they would steal plays. And I think this happened in the 80s, but I'm not sure. Maybe even in the 70s. I heard a story of that before.
That would ruin the mystique of Zach Thomas.
I know, right? Simplify illegal man downfield. No ineligible player shall be or have been more than 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage until the passer, you can't say quarterback because you can do double passes now, throws an illegal forward pass that crosses the line of scrimmage. This rule, I'm going to just go straight to the rationale. This rule has been more important due to RPO. We're looking at you, Madden. Due to the way that the rule has traditionally been written, it's hard to officiate. And shorter half times, 10-minute break, shorter halftime, 10-minute break, then back to the action. Bills, if we can hear you, I know you've been listening to us. Give us your quick synopsis of what you think of all of these rules.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, first off, fuck this computer. It's interesting. It seems like they're trying to cater to a younger audience, which is cool. I mean, it gives you a different feel than the NFL. Nobody wants to watch the NFL and then go and watch the NFL again.
True.
So, I mean, overall, everything sounds cool. I'm just waiting to see how it plays out and if there's any changes that might come about as a result of, fan feedback, et cetera, et cetera. But, yeah, I kind of like their idea for kickoffs. It seems to alleviate a lot of the issues that the NFL seems to have with the kickoff, which is funny because they've had how many years to figure it out, and they're still.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe we should just. It's just like seriously.
Maybe we should eliminate kickoffs.
Right. It's like, come on. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Bills. I think they came up with a pretty good idea for kickoffs with this. I think this is very innovative.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. It's like the NFL has all these intelligent people, right?
That's
experts. They study the game. They have all the analytics in front of them.
All this money.
And they're like, "Whoa, let's get rid of the kickoffs." It's like,
right?
It's like it makes no sense. The XFL came and gave you a clear solution,
right?
And yeah, I like how it's sounding. It's just a matter of how it's going to flow, like as a game. Like once you get down to not stopping the clock, even when somebody goes out of bounds, it's going to be a bit jarring to some fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything sounds cool.
I think the kickoff and definitely that one the one person that's designated to spot the ball. I think that's something that right there. I can promise you, if I wasn't poor, I would bet I would bet and say that, and within 2 years, that's going to be implemented in NFL and probably college. And I'm surprised, like what Ravens Nation's Net said right here. The NFL should implemented this ball spot official years ago. He's on like the 40s. No, but you think about it, like that will eliminate. I think that will eliminate one thing about challenging the spot of the ball. I think you will see a lot less of that if you had one person implement. Now, if that one person can't get it right, and obviously they got video footage of him not doing it right, you're going to see a situation where he gonna get stuff thrown at him like how the Saints did these refs this year. But that's another story.
But see, that's what's funny to me is like the other day my cousin was asking while we were watching the playoff games, like, what is each ref like designated to do in their spots? And once I explained to him, he's like, and they're still getting the calls wrong? I'm like, exactly.
Right, but you know what? This is another question we need to look up and find out. Are these refs in the NFL? Are they designated to do what they're doing in every game? Like the line judge, is he the line judge every game?
Every game, right?
Is the white hat judge? Is he the white hat judge every game?
Right. I wonder if they operated like Major League Baseball. They rotate.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm starting to think. If you think about it now, it could be a possibility that they actually do rotate because it's too many instances where they get this stuff wrong.
I'm like, but to tell you the truth, the head linesman is the head linesman no matter what. Like whoever we hear about, whoever's name is in there, we never see them any other spot. So I guess the others may rotate, but if you're a head linesman, then
They need to figure
you don't
something
rotate
out.
anywhere.
They need to figure something out because clearly some of these dudes have a weakness on the field somewhere.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like I don't know where, I don't know which designated spot it is that they have an issue, but clearly these motherfuckers have a weakness.
Like
somewhere.
honestly, you would think that a line judge will be really good at being a line judge.
Right.
You wouldn't want them to be a field judge. You kind of see what I'm saying? Why would you put a field judge on the line of scrimmage and you wonder why he don't know how to call a false start?
That's what I'm saying. It's like you got a dude standing right next to the fucking first down line, and you know his eyesight is shit, and you keep putting him there, and that's how you get horrible spots like they had the past couple weeks.
Right, or like a field judge can't call holding because he can't see. Well, put him somewhere else. Or get him you know what I mean?
It's like if you need to tell Dave to get a new fucking, get a fucking prescription for his eyes. I don't know. It's like that is a good question. Like, are they designated every game to be in the same? And the same goes for NBA refs.
I was about to say that too because
same goes for NBA
you don't
refs.
even know what the hell each one's supposed to be calling. You know, you have maybe one or two that run up and down the court, and then the others are like, did you see that? I don't know. Let's ask the ref that hasn't ran down here all the way if they seen the foul. Like what?
And he's sitting over there probably playing with his fingernails. Like, what y'all want? You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's what I'm saying. Because think about it. Kobe said he studied each position where the refs were supposed to be, but you would have to think he also knew what their weaknesses were as much as he probably gets the same referee crews. Mm-hmm. He must know what they miss from each position.
Right. So I think the XFL at the end of the day, I think this is going to be an interesting league. Long as they, as of right now, based on the rules and how they presented themselves this year, it seems like they're about football because the first time they came through, it looked like they was trying to put a wrestling ring at the 50-yard line. So this year, it looks like, this go around, even when he announced it like 2-3 years ago, Vince said that, listen, we're going to focus on football and we're going to do this, this, and this. And from what they bought the teams out, they got players who actually want to play. They got these rules that look like they're going to be some pretty decent rules. I can't wait to February 8th, honestly. I just want to see how this plays out.
Well, here's another thing for me, and I don't know if DJ feels the same way, but having watched AEW and watched an alternative try to carve their niche in the wrestling business, the most important thing for me on the telecast is don't remind us of the NFL. Don't take cheap shots at the NFL.
Yeah, just focus on XFL. I totally agree.
As long as Vince McMahon does not have a speaking role
at all,
then we will see just XFL purely XFL.
Yeah, I agree because even
Oh,
that's one
yeah.
thing. That's one thing the AF did very well. Even though they were somewhat partnered with the NFL,
Yeah.
they tried to carve their way into their own league without talking about the NFL.
Right.
Until
Don't tell you,
somebody carved their way into their own
Your pockets,
bank account.
right?
it's like don't tell the commentators, oh, make sure you take a couple shots of that. No, don't feed
And I
them
mean,
lines.
and
none
you
of
gotta
that
think
stuff.
about it.
If you're using the same channels,
Right.
And not only that, they didn't even try to compare their players to NFL players.
No.
The AF overall, AF did a pretty good job. The only thing I can say what the AF did do wrong outside of the money thing, they didn't get their players prepared for the season because you could tell the first 2-3 weeks you was like, these dudes aren't ready. But after that 4th week, we saw some real good football, and it's a shame that it got really.
Fuck the players, the accountants. They didn't get ready.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like it got to be real good football. We was getting ready for the playoffs. We was going to say, okay, this is going to be good, and all of a sudden, players ain't getting played. Players getting left. Players getting left with no way to get back home.
No, they got played.
Right. Some players couldn't make it back home. They were waiting for paychecks. It was terrible, man. It was like a really good league that actually started to get
laughing at all that too.
The league started to get some legs, and it was done for. Chris Thomas, what's up? What's going on, Chris Thomas?
I was gonna say the other interesting thing. I want to see how they build stars within their league. Like, I want to see what approach they take because obviously the NFL have all the endorsements in the world. They got Head and Shoulders. They got everything, you name it, right? But like, what is the XFL gonna do to bring in casual
I'm gonna tell you what
viewers?
Let me tell you what they could do. First of all, they're on national television.
Right.
Well, I ain't gonna say they're not like on CBS Sports headquarters, and you gotta find us. So that's one way to do it. The only thing they gotta do, Bills, the players just need to go out there and just play good ball. That's it. Trust me. If it's on Fox, CBS. And these guys play
interactive.
No, I get it, but they already kind of got that with what they're trying to bring to the table.
Yeah, but
you see what I'm saying?
I still think they need.
You're still gonna have people on their cell phones while the game's on.
Yeah, no.
Some type of interactive aspect of it.
I get it. I get it. I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying, I don't think they're gonna have to work as hard as we think they do.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. I think after the first 4 weeks, they need to find who the best players are. Put them on a talk
show.
Start
marketing them.
Market them.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I definitely agree with that.
From that perspective.
I can tell you right now, I'm looking at the DC Defenders. Cardale Jones is the main one you want out there. Ohio State QB. Yeah. You got him and Dwayne Haskins in DC.
Like they can use that. They can use that Lincoln connection to
exactly.
Even though they don't necessarily want to talk about the NFL, but the fact they have 2 Ohio State quarterbacks in town. There's something like that. But I like I said, I don't think it's going to be that big of they don't have to do that big of a push to do. I think they're in a really good position right now to actually like for instance, when they see how these rules are implemented, one thing about the AAF that got a lot of people attention was the way they did the replay booth.
Right.
When they did the replay booth, that alone. Casual people was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this next week just because of that. Just stuff like that. Once they start implementing and see how innovative and it has to work well, when they see how, let's just say the last 2 minutes of a game and like we talked about with the chaos and all the stuff going on, if that's actually entertaining, people are going to watch next week. Now, obviously, like you said, Bills, week 4, week 5, whoever stands out, they need to put them in the forefront. I get it. But I think with the way they set this up, if it's done properly and it looks like entertaining ball, people are going to come back and watch it. I think that's what,
By the way, I looked up the commentary team. So, apparently it's going to be Steve Levy, Greg McElroy, which is surprising because he could probably still be playing. Yeah. Diana Rossini on the sideline.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you have a pass.
I think everybody has a pass with her.
But no, so that's there. I don't know if that. Well, see, that's what's interesting is.
Well, she makes up the ESPN aspect of it. I think that's why she's in there.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure. Well, okay, see, that's ESPN. So I'm trying to figure out if there's another. like who's going to be the CBS team, et cetera, et
Who's
cetera.
gonna be the Fox
So
team,
far,
right?
they've only had, I guess, the ABC team they've announced. So
Yeah, we'll like I said, we'll get into that because
that's another major thing.
Yeah, because you wasn't here yet, Bills, but we talked about before February 8th. We want to talk about the actual teams. We're going to try to pick what teams we may like, try to ride with that team throughout the season. So we'll try to get into rosters and stuff like that in the weeks to come before the actual games start. And I guess with the commentators, we'll add that along with it, so we'll know what who's doing commentary on each team. So,
well, if you pay attention to Twitter, they've been posting videos of some of the preseason action, some of the scrimmages that have been taking place.
Okay.
You get some little clips, some little instance. I know. I think DC was facing. I don't know what they were facing. I'm still not fair. They were facing, I think maybe Tampa or something like that in one of their clips. So just be on the lookout until February 8th, and that's a Saturday. So
I like I said, I definitely think this is going to be a pretty decent league. I'm not trying to give them too much of a high expectation.
Oh, that motherfucker got trucked. Good God.
Well, there we go.
Somebody for the New York Guardians just put somebody in the back.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, up until the beginning of the season, we want to get more information. Not only and people in the chat, if you want to bring things to the information about whatever team that you may like, it's not just us and our three teams that we may want to root for. You guys can interact with us too. So if you guys have a team that you want to talk about, like Chris Thomas, he already said in Tampa they have Quentin Flowers on the team. He's in Tampa. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So I'm pretty sure that he's probably going to root for Tampa. I don't have a team down here in the Georgia, South Carolina area, so I got to look. DJ got one in DC, so I know he's going with DC. Bills. I don't even think that
New York would be the closest, probably.
Right, but we still have to. I was just going to evaluate every team and just see what's out there because I mean, I like the Arizona team when we was in the AAF and they were pretty good for one point. But
speaking of Tampa Bay, while we're on Tampa Bay, you hear Phillip Rivers might be a possible option for them. I saw.
Yeah, because he moved to Florida.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's no way they'll sign Jameis if they sign Phillip Rivers. Not to long term.
I wouldn't sign.
But I thought he was balling though.
I wouldn't sign. Honestly, I wouldn't sign Phil Rivers if I was them. I think he's washed. I think he has nothing left.
I would put it like this: if they sign Phillip Rivers,
another kid left.
If they sign, if they sign Phillip Rivers, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. I can see them going for. They're gonna dump Jameis Winston because Jameis gonna want a big contract. They get Phillip Rivers for maybe 1 year. They'll probably end up drafting like Jake Fromm or something like that, and have Jake Fromm sitting behind him for a year or so. That's the only thing I see in that scenario.
Yeah, but how are they gonna? Oh, you said Jake Fromm. I don't know why I was thinking Joe Burrow. I was thinking like, how the fuck are they getting Joe? No, yeah, I mean,
that's the only way I see that happening.
Yeah.
Let's get into these other topics. Like I said, XFL is looking good. I mean, I think they're gonna be all right. Which I want to go first? Y'all want to talk about you guys AFC, NFC games, or you want to go straight into Delonte West? Because we're gonna talk about gaming on the back end.
I think we can talk about the AFC, NFC championship. My take, I don't know what Vrabel was thinking. Again, it seems like, okay, Kansas City automatically, congratulations, you're in the Super Bowl. That's fine, that's great. But I had to question Vrabel trying to go off script.
All right, go ahead, you good.
And not really emphasize the run as much as he was doing leading up. I don't know if he outsmarted himself.
All right.
As far as the game plan was concerned.
News flash. I know this has nothing to do with the podcast. It has nothing to do with gaming. 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
My son, he decided to eat human. Well, he's been doing it already, but he's actually decided to eat big people food in daycare. Yay! Second, he actually dumped the bottle and started drinking out of the sippy cup. Yay! And the third thing, this little joker just climbed all the way up the stairs to get to me. Look at
Wow.
Wow.
Like, hey.
All right, never mind. I'll go back. I was just wondering. I just thought that was funny because
you're gonna start giving me some goddamn respect around here.
Right. I went to the steps and he was like all the way up. I was like, hold up, wait a minute.
Next thing you know, he's gonna be paying bills.
I agree.
I agree.
Nah, go ahead. What you were saying, DJ?
But yeah, I have some questions for Rabel as far as I believe he outsmarted himself. I don't believe he was playing like coaching like a bitch like Bill O'Brien, but I think he thought about it too. Like he blinked to me as far as because even though Derrick Henry got the carries that he got, it wasn't a consistent thing where he could build and build and build and keep Kansas City's offense off the field. It just seemed like it was just a completely different Titans offense. And yeah, shout out to Tannehill. He did okay, but Tannehill became Tannehill in certain moments, and they didn't need that Tannehill to pop up at that moment. So, in Kansas City, just basically they did their thing. So
yeah, I kind of figured Kansas City was going to do what they do. I'm actually surprised that Tannehill didn't throw for like 71 yards, and Derrick Henry actually got the yards that Tannehill threw for. I mean, I really just thought that Derrick Henry was going to get his numbers, but they was going to still lose.
But in a way, you were shooting for 150 yards rushing.
Yeah, I sure was.
And what I was expecting was that Kansas City was going to change their mentality and say we're going to sell out for the run.
And they did. They were running goal line defense with 10 and sometimes 9 people in the box. I mean, I don't need to talk. I said this on stream Sunday. Bills, what are your thoughts?
I would usually break this game down, but I'm just gonna say fuck the NFL. Okay, look, everybody knew the Chiefs were the better team. That's fine. I'm tired of the bullshit that they pull and when they pull it, because the calls that they made and didn't make down the stretch of that game were so fucking obvious that they were rigging the fuck out of that game.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
At a certain point, I was like, I don't even feel like watching this shit anymore. You know, the Chiefs don't need help. Okay, it's like. It just annoys me. Like, you called 12 men on the fucking field after a play went by and then went back and assessed the penalty.
Yeah, they went back and they penalized the play after another play has been ran.
Bro, they called face guarding on the Titans, and then the Chiefs committed the same exact penalty. And they didn't call it.
No, y'all saw that clip of that holding play when dude had his
holding
hand on.
Play as soon as the ball was snapped, damn near. Before Derrick Henry got the fucking hand off. It's like they don't even try to hide it, bro.
Yo, dude had his hand on the damn flag before the ball was snapped.
It's like okay, it's like for the people who say the Chiefs are still gonna win, fine, I'll give you that. But come on, bro.
It's a way about doing things.
It just was so obvious. It was so obvious they were hedging their fucking bets.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was bad.
And it made me not really even want to watch the second game, which of course was a fucking drubbing.
Yeah, I barely watched it.
Because I was checked out. I'm like, it's clear they just wanted the Chiefs in the fucking Super Bowl.
Right.
It's not that the Chiefs weren't going to win. The Chiefs were good enough to win without that bullshit happening. But it was the timing of when the bullshit started happening. It's like the Titans finally got something going. Oh, shit, they might make it a 2-score game, and the bullshit starts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 49ers, Packers.
The 49ers look very dominant, but, there's a but. I've been saying all year, Jimmy Garoppolo is a fucking fraud, and he has not been exposed yet. And I don't know if he will be or not, but holy shit, he is not what people made him out to be.
I don't think Jimmy's going to be exposed just because, like I said, I do not.
Chiefs defense.
I just don't believe in the Chiefs. People praise the Chiefs defense for what they did to the Titans. Like, yo, you basically stopped the one-dimensional team. Who can't do that?
Right.
Tannehill is not going to
Baltimore, New England.
Hey,
yeah, but I mean, in all fairness, though, the Titans were facing a different.
I put it like this.
It's like we even said it last week.
It's not even that.
They were facing a different type of defense. Yeah.
Not only that.
I just thought the mentality was just different about their defense. It wasn't necessarily them. And we tried to tell VF that they don't have to be good, but they just have to have that mentality that we're going to stop this, and they did.
But that's more so my point. I think the Chiefs don't have to be The Chiefs don't have to recreate the wheel, but they do the same thing they did against the Titans, and you're looking at the Chiefs as Super Bowl champions.
You think so?
But here's the thing. The one thing I'll say is the 49ers definitely have some damn good receivers as far as getting separation. They have Kittle.
And I think that's the problem. It's not the fact that Garoppolo's not going to get exposed. Garoppolo has enough to do just enough with that receiving core. Now, don't get me wrong.
You think so?
He has enough to do just enough. Now, he has enough talent to do just enough. If he had those receivers like the Titans got, the Chiefs got to run away with the game.
But I think it's going to be similar to what I said with the Titans. It's like, what happened? Like, why did they stop running the ball? Well, I mean, when you're getting in third and long, like let's see the 49ers get into a third and long. Let's see them not get 8 yards on the first carry. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the thing, though. See, this is the thing. The thing about the 49ers, even when they do get a third and long, you got Deebo Samuel, you got Emmanuel Sanders, you got Kittle, you got people that's going to get open where Garoppolo don't have to be that elite quarterback to throw the ball to him.
No, that's what doesn't. But
see, that's the X factor when it comes to the 49ers compared to when the Chiefs played the Ravens. Like, the running game. I ain't going to say the running game from the Ravens. I mean, not the Ravens, but the Titans and the 49ers are similar, but they're going to be run heavy. The problem is when you do get them in third down, you don't have a Tannehill back there that's going to throw the ball at the player's knees.
But here's the issue, though, is when you start matching up Tyrann Mathieu with George Kittle, then you have a guy that can run with him, right? And then you don't have, obviously, great corners on the outside. But Garoppolo, if you get pressure on him, and like I said, there's no threat of a run. It's not 3rd and 2. It's not 3rd and 3. It's going to be really interesting, especially when you have the pressure of, oh, shit, Pat Mahomes getting the ball.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think they have to get pressure on Garoppolo. Now, will they? I don't know.
It's going to be like, okay, this is what I said. I said this in the Discord. This has a chance to be an amazing Super Bowl. Like, matchup-wise, I love it. But will the NFL just fucking stay out of it? Nope. Just stay out of it. Like, I don't have any faith that they'll just stay out of it. That's why I have to measure my expectations. Because on paper, like I said, this looks like an amazing matchup. You got one of the top 2 defenses in the league. Yeah.
Did he get sniped?
No.
I think he got sniped. I don't hear nothing.
It looks like his icon is still there.
His icon's there, but his audio.
The NFL was like, nope. We'll get involved in this podcast.
Right. Nevertheless, until he comes back, let's talk. Doom don't have his comments not up. Y'all gonna put up Doom's comment real quick. Okay. But like I said, I think that the Chiefs. I'm not saying that the Chiefs couldn't lose this. I think they could be very competitive. But the problem is, I just don't think the Chiefs' defense is good enough to beat this balanced attack. I think the 49ers have a way more balanced attack than the Titans did. And I think they had a more balanced attack than the Titans did. Because the Titans couldn't run the ball as well as the 49ers could. You know what I'm saying?
If we keep going by them not being good enough, we ignore the whole will over skill type mentality that they're employing. Yeah,
I don't think
not to be trusted, but right now
I don't think
they look like they had the hot hand.
No, not when you just have to stop a running back. Don't get me wrong.
But they weren't supposed to stop them. That was the thing.
Yeah, but when you put 9 and 10 in a box,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, DJ, that's not the will. That's just more numbers in
the will. You literally put 9
right
in the box.
And then when you have 7, that's always up there all the time on the offensive line. You better stop them.
New England had a better defense, and they didn't do that.
Exactly.
That's a will to do it, not necessarily because
you're just changing the game plan, DJ.
I'm not changing. No,
they changed their game plan.
If you had I talked about the mentality to be able to do it. It comes from the coaching, and it also
changing the game plan.
The field. No,
they changed the game plan. They basically ran
They
ran a goal line defense 80% of the time.
Well, that's what you do to stop the run.
Right, and I get
box.
That is totally
New England and Baltimore were not willing to do
right,
that.
and that is totally that is totally
all right,
different.
I'm back.
That is totally different than changing your game plan than having
though.
That is totally different than changing your game plan than telling guys that have no talent all of a sudden have the talent. That's almost saying like, okay, we can't stop LeBron, but if we triple team him, oh, now we're the shit because we have the will to do it. No, you just triple team.
I have a question for y'all.
Mentality changed.
Well, I have a question. What do you think? Do you think the Chiefs come out and maybe run the ball more?
I think they should switch it up.
Is McCoy going to be healthy?
Well, they have Damian Williams, so I mean,
and not only that, if they run the ball, they will stop, and they could possibly wear down Joey Bosa and the other guys in that front 5 or 7. I can see that because you got to think about it. The 49ers thinking pass because look what their quarterback is.
Of course,
I'm definitely I'm for that. If the Chiefs are trying to win, I don't see a problem with that at all.
I don't know, bro. Like I said, I just want the NFL to stay out of this.
Doom says the 49ers ran the ball on 38 against the Packers and broke for 30. And you know what? To be honest with
Packers.
The Packers defense, I ain't going to say the Packers defense is better than the Chiefs.
Skill players.
They have better skill players, but I'm not going to say they're better than the Chiefs. If they are, maybe a touch above.
Their rush defense is the issue.
Right.
The Chiefs have a damn good front. That's why their run defense is automatically better.
And when you get
the Chiefs gave up 188 to Derrick Henry prior to this game. It doesn't still have the same player. Once again, once again, it's one thing to say these guys are talented to stop these guys compared to, oh, we're just gonna stack the box. Now we're good.
I mean,
once again, once again, you can run up on LeBron and say, hey, look, we stopped them for 25 points, and all of a sudden you triple team them and say, oh yeah, we're better now because we stopped them for 22.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it's the same mentality.
But at the same time, I think that it matters what point in the season you're in. I mean, come on, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the number 1 rush defense in the league. You think if they made it to the playoffs that would still be the case? I think they have players that step up when they need to step up. I think they changed the game plan and they stymied.
And once again, I will go back and talk about that, Bills. Mm-hmm. It's one thing for players to step up when they need to step up, but you're not going to tell me that these players are stepping up when they got 9 in the box.
But they were stepping up
physically.
Well, because BF, let's be honest.
They stepped up.
Well, let's be honest though. There were a bunch of one-on-one tackles that were made that weren't just guys in the area. They were good tackles.
I get that, but I'm just saying. My thing, I'm not buying that. Okay, we're going to stop the run by putting all these people here, and all of a sudden we're talented as shit. I'm not buying that. But that's what DJ was saying.
No, I'm not saying that they're talented. I said their will to do something was greater than their skill.
Bruh,
that's what stepping up is about.
My thing is,
I get what VF said.
That's what my thing is. If you put 9 in the box, I don't give a damn if you put college players right there. Those college players should be able to stop Derrick Henry for under 100 yards. If you put 9 in the box,
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, that's a bit.
Yeah, it depends on where they're set up in the box.
That's a bit far.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not far fetched. You put right now. I'll put it like okay. Let's put it like this: if Alabama's defense or Clemson's defense, they play a regular front 7. Derrick Henry should run through their ass like shit through Tin Horn. I agree with that. But if you put that same defense and put 9 in the box, they should stop him.
But remember, here's the thing. You also got to remember, zone blocking scheme is much harder to just say, throw 9 in the box and we'll figure it out.
Do they run zone blocking?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They don't, but that's why the 49ers are so successful. The 49ers, Kyle Shanahan passed down. Well, I should say Mike Shanahan passed down the zone blocking scheme to Kyle Shanahan. That's one of the reasons why the 49ers are so good in the run. Right. Because they have a zone blocking scheme. It's literally it's not hat on a hat. It becomes chess instead of checkers at that point. The Titans don't. They're literally like, we're gonna line up and run.
They're power.
Yeah, they're more power.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's different. That's why the Chiefs stopped them, because it's a different dynamic.
Right. Now, my thing, I think at the end of the day, I think that the Chiefs have a chance to win this game. Like I said in the stream on Sunday, they have a chance to win. I just think that the 49ers offense will just take advantage on the Chiefs defense at certain times. It will be close. It will be very competitive, but I just think the 49ers are to eke this one out.
Do you think the Niners can put up 30 points against the Chiefs if they have to?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know why? Because I just don't have any faith in the Chiefs on defense.
I'm afraid of anybody that spots Pat Mahomes 14 points, and I can see that just based on, we're filling them out. Well, that's fine, but if Pat scores on 2 straight possessions and you're going 3 and out, or not even getting 3 on the board, it may get ugly. I don't think they'll be able to catch up in that. That happened to the Titans.
The Titans. Look at the Titans offense versus the 49ers offense. That's
I feel you, but I'm saying at the same time, it's like it doesn't matter what team it is. You spot Pat Mahomes 14 points.
Yeah, because it seemed like it was worse with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I can see that. At the end of the day, regardless of Pat Mahomes put up numbers, the defense has to do something. And
I feel like they'll do enough.
They have to do something. And my thing is with the Texans were just inept in the running game. They just couldn't do anything. Yeah. I mean, you saw what what's his name ran. I mean, he ended up throwing for 348 or something like that. Watson, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the Titans. The Titans can't throw the ball. They just can't do nothing. The 49ers have more of a balanced attack. And I think with that being said, they will overcome them by 7 points, maybe 10. I just don't see, I can see the Chiefs winning, but I just don't see the defense will let them down. That's what I see.
I hope the Chiefs do the same thing that the Patriots did in the Super Bowl, which was, if you're going to keep your overrated cover 3 cornerback on one side of the field, we will just play away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, but I'm tired of this Richard Sherman hype. Revis has a point. I don't care how people can call him bitter all you want. He's right. He is right. I'm sorry. Was it bitter for him to say it? Yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't change the message. Yeah, Richard Sherman, they use the same excuse on Seattle. It's the system. You can't say that now. I'm sorry. It's the second team. This motherfucker is on one side of the field, reading a quarterback's eyes. He's not really covering anybody. And people are making it seem like this dude is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I would completely play away from that dude.
Well, 2 guys having a cat fight. What's new?
Fuck Richard Sherman.
Yeah, what's new? I didn't even think about covering that. I just
it's not. We don't have to cover. It's just
everybody's national hero is still Trent Williams for punching him in the face.
Mushing him, fucking hoe ass.
All right. Anything else on the AFC NFC?
No,
will over skill.
The Last of Us 2.
Oh no, I
ain't got nothing else to say. I
know. It was just funny, but yeah, go ahead.
The Last of Us 2 possibly becoming a PC. They're looking for NVIDIA developers. Another game that possibly this could be a big one. If this goes to PC,
the biggest one.
Yeah, if this goes to PC, Sony fanboys are done.
Personally. They're gonna have a coronary.
They're done.
They're already having coronaries.
Yeah, they're having problems with Horizons. They're not. So, if this goes, what are you guys' thoughts if this comes to PC with they're looking for developers for NVIDIA?
I love it.
Yeah, all for it. Like, just get rid of exclusives
altogether.
I can play State of Decay 2 on PlayStation. I said this before. It gives the consumer a choice. Where do you want to play your games at?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can play them anywhere. What console, what company do you have more faith in? That's where it comes down to.
Yeah. It's that simple. Yeah, honestly, I hate the idea that you should buy a console and miss out on one of the best games of the year because somebody else that chose to be loyal to a piece of plastic and blindly bought that console can sit and wave it in your fucking face. It's like,
listen, I think that Xbox, Microsoft was onto something when they started putting their games on PC. The thing about them is like, I mean, let's be honest. When you look at the landscape of consoles, every single console, you lose money on consoles just for putting them out there. The games is what sell your consoles. So why don't they be like Microsoft's like, look, we'll just pay a licensing fee to all these third party guys to put their stuff on Xbox Store, and our first party stuff, we'll just put it straight to PC and get more revenue.
Right.
I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it.
My thing is, I was just really curious about that because now you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, you look at the other games that's possibly going to PC. Sony is playing around with it, and now you got The Last of Us looking for developers. I think at the end of the day, man, we'll just have to wait and see in the next couple of months what happens. Delonte West. I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to let you know. I'm not going to start off. I'm going to let you guys start it off. My son is ready to go to bed. I don't know why he climbed up here when he knew he wanted to go to bed. I'm going to take him downstairs.
I wanted you to tuck him in.
Clearly. So
Like,
I'm going to go do that. And I know I'm going to go do that. And y'all can start with Delonte. I'll be right back.
All right.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Delonte West. Wow.
Come on. Let's go.
I can't really laugh at this. I'm like, it's just sad to where he's at now. I'm like, he literally is living on a highway. That's where the last few images I've seen of Delonte West have been him pretty much seems like he's homeless, drugged out. His mental is just, down the tubes. I don't know at what point this started, but obviously it's not going to end well. I'm like, he got beat up in the middle of a highway with everybody filming and nobody really calling the police. And then when they got the video of him talking to the police, you can tell he's not there.
Right.
So it's just like, you've seen stuff like this before, and nobody was really. I don't think a lot of people at that point was willing to reach out and try to get that man some help. And now all of a sudden, people act like, "Oh, yeah, we need to help this man," and stuff like that. I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. He should have been helped the moment you start seeing stuff like this." And it kind of is like that, almost, that delayed reaction to when somebody is obviously crying out for help. I'm like, he doesn't have to say it directly, but I'm like, his fall from grace was his cry to help, and hopefully he gets the help that he not that the help that he deserves, but the help that he needs right now. He needs somebody to rein him in. Same with AB, same thing.
Did anybody get an update on AB?
He probably still holding out at the house.
I haven't even looked.
As far as AB is concerned, CTE, early onset. That's all I have to say about that.
I mean, I just the Delonte West situation. I think it's twofold. I think obviously the people that were around him have to carry some blame, but I mean, I'm sorry. The dude's a grown ass man. He might have mental illness problems, but I'm sorry, there has to be some accountability there. He's clearly either smoked all of his fucking money away, or done whatever the hell he's done.
Well, shit. And remember when he got caught with all those weapons in the car? Yeah, while he was just coming off playing, and all of a sudden he's on weapons charges. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's twofold. I don't really have much to say. Hopefully he gets help, but I mean, shit. I've seen a lot of athletes go down this road, and I'm sorry, but they're grown ass men, man.
And Delonte being a local athlete, this is probably the second one we've seen go down this path. Victor Page, who used to play for Georgetown back in the day alongside Allen Iverson, it pretty much lost an eye and drugged out, in and out of jail. So I'm like, I'm not saying it's a DMV like local thing, but like each person who's had that collegiate athlete come out of their hometown that got a little bit of fame, you also got to pay attention to where they came from and possibly where the weaknesses can be once that person has all this money. What do they choose to do with it? I don't know what programs are available for like first year players in either the NFL or Major League Baseball or even in NHL, but you look at programs like that and hopefully that helps players deal with fame, success, so that when they have a post-playing career, they don't succumb to stuff that they were exposed to before getting into the league.
My thing is, let me tell you about this. I think he has some issues, and I understand what Bill's saying. He's grown, and I understand that, and we all have our level of responsibility and accountability. I'm all for that because I can't stand somebody who don't want to man up and do what they have to do to take care of themselves. And I'm not even talking about somebody who made $16 million playing basketball. I'm just talking about the average person who needs to get up and do what they have to do. I can't stand people who just choose not to do that and try to blame it on other things. I understand that. I found out that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I don't play the mental health game because I don't know what that's all about. I don't know people that really suffers from that. I don't know people who suffer from mental health like that. They claim they do.
You're kind of sitting on a podcast with one right now.
Is
I've kind of gone out there and said that I have a little bit of a. I'm like it's minor. It's not at the level where Delonte West, but mine is centered around a car accident. So
right, and I understand that kind, and I get it. But I'm talking about like bipolar disorder, this schizophrenia and stuff. I've dealt with people like that in my line of law enforcement, but I never tried to figure out what it's about because I just never had a chance to wrap my mind around it. Now I know how to deal with them, like if I'm dead, because obviously like when I did work in the prison system at one time, and I know how to deal with them, but I just don't understand it. Now, they said that he had other situations when he was walking outside of a Jack in the Box in Houston. He was with a cardboard sign on the side of the road in Maryland. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Like Bill said, he probably smoked all his money up. I don't know.
Well, he's down in Prince George's County. So if anybody in the chat is in the DMV area, they know that road that he got beat up on. I've driven I know a bunch of us have probably driven along that road at some point in time, but it was just sad. He got beat up in the middle. He was getting assaulted in the middle of the highway, but even so, the fact that he's on that highway to begin with, that's probably where he lives.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think he needs to talk to somebody. I know we talked about AB needs to talk to somebody outside of his circle. Now, this is two totally different situations. I think this is a serious situation where he literally needs to talk to somebody outside of his circle. He don't need to talk to no family members, somebody that he feel may judge him, or somebody who may just tell him something that he wants to hear, because this is way more, and I know people might think this is crazy, but I think this is way more serious than what AB's going through, because he looks like he's on drugs and he's homeless. He needs to talk to somebody who's either a professional in this stuff. Like AB, AB has another issue that a professional may not be able to really get to him, because you talk about CTE, DJ, but AB, for all intents and purposes, he's pretty much in his right mind compared to Delonte West. So
I have a different view, but I've already talked about that.
Yeah, I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that far off. I don't think he's that far gone. I'll say that. I just think at the end of the day, he just needs help with me, because it's too many celebrities. I'm not even talking about sports figures. Too many celebrities, and I don't know this firsthand, but I know this is a fact. There's a lot of people who came across a lot of money with their talents. A lot of people who've done a lot with their talent to gain a lot of wealth, but they're stressing. Someone revert to drugs. Some people do other things to get away from the lifestyle that they live, because even though it made all this money, they're still hurting on the inside because they're not able to function as real human beings. They always have to keep up what got them rich. Now, you may not see this. They might put on a face for us every time you see them on TV or on social media. But I noticed for a fact, I'll say at least half of the celebrities are going through some bullshit behind the scenes. There's no question, because it's not normal. It's not normal to be a professional athlete. It's not normal to be an actor. It's not normal to be, in that limelight, to do this over and over. Every time somebody see you, they want you to put on this act, or they want you to do this, they want you to do that. It's not normal to be that way. So I know, look, this Saturday night, I ain't got no gig to do. I'm going to go sit my ass down and I'm going to drink until I pass out. Or I'm going to drink until I feel, relaxed. I'm almost certain that half of the celebrities, basketball players, or just athletes or whatever, they do that type of shit. It's a lot to put on them. Now, I'm not saying all. Like I said, I'm being generous, saying 50, maybe it'd be 30. But I'm saying it's probably about 50% that goes through this shit because it's not normal. So kudos to them to maintain, that are continue to be, strong and put on that face and continue to provide for their families. But I would not be surprised at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that are probably borderline close to AB or Delonte West, but they're able to maintain because they know they have bigger things to carry on their back as far as their responsibilities. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at that. It's just, what are you guys' thoughts about that?
I don't know, bro. I'm like, in my position, obviously, I'm thinking in the back of my head about this, being in the industry that I'm in. I've had a lot of talks with my uncle about this. It's like, one night you go to sleep, nobody knows your name. And no exaggeration, the next day you could not be able to go anywhere without, like, somebody being, oh, you're such and such. And it's tough, because you can't lead a normal life from that point on. You're in a secret society now, where you're on a different level. It's not the same. You wake up with no problems financially. It's just kind of weird how it happens. You just all of a sudden have no worries.
That's the thing, Bills. That right there alone can make you psychologically just look at things different that you can't.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Because the thing is, it's like, I'll give you an example, like me. Like, let's say I go and have my label meeting and it's like, oh, boom, here's a check. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, tomorrow I don't have to wake up and think about
not only that,
A, B, C, D.
Not only that, Bills, in 2 seconds, your whole mindset just changed.
The whole mindset.
Not even think about tomorrow. Just as soon as they give you that check, your whole mindset changed about how you look at things.
Yeah, it's like a huge exhale, but more importantly, it's like you're not in the same tax bracket anymore. You're not in the same society anymore. You soon won't be living in the same neighborhood anymore. It just changes. So when you have that life for as long as he had it, and no, he wasn't this top echelon player, but he was always in the rotation wherever he went. He was making good money.
But see, that makes it bigger to that. That makes it put on a bigger platform. He's not one of these big celebrities that constantly have to, or big athletes that actually have, a lot of people on him. He was a good player, but he's not the superstar. You see what I'm saying?
But that's what kind of makes it even worse for him.
Right.
Is the fact that he went from, like, I guess in a way, small time relevance to, like, no relevance. It's not like one of these other huge celebrities or huge basketball players where people are reaching out to give them a job. They're reaching out to get an interview. It's like, no, he's not. He wasn't on that level. So once he fucks his life up, there's no turning back. Right. Until there's outside intervention. So,
and that's my thing. I was just thinking, like, you're not. Some people are just not able to function with that kind of wealth. Some people are just not able to function with that kind of responsibility. That's why I say it's like you said, it's a different you're in a different, bracket.
It's a different ballgame.
You're in a different ballgame. You're in a different class of everybody. And we talk about some of these kids who grow up and probably didn't have much when they were, and all of a sudden they're making this money. Like I said, 50%. And like I said, I might be over exaggerating. I could say probably 50% go through mentally. You know what I'm saying with the bipolar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have to fight within themselves of maintaining that type of lifestyle because it's so different. So I can see where a lot of them are having this issue.
I mean,
they put that smiling face on every time when they're out.
I mean, think about it, bro. Anybody listening to this podcast right now, just imagine if somebody handed you a blank check.
Basically. And
they're like, you're set. You don't have to worry about anything financially.
And not only that, you have to do this, and this in front of this, and this type of people.
Yeah. The only prerequisite is you have to go to your job every day.
Right.
That is kind of, it's like, it's different, man. It's like, I can't even really explain it. It's different. It's different, bro.
I can't explain it either, but I'm just trying to think. When I look at celebrities that go downhill, like, okay, there's levels to all of this. There's the ones who go broke, don't have money anymore. There's the ones who go crazy and broke. There's the ones who are crazy and have money. And then there's the ones who crazy, have the money, but they're able to maintain. And you don't see that side of them unless, some TMZ picture or TMZ video catching behind the scenes and they're wigging out. You're like, yo, what's up with them? Well, they were cool when they was doing their show. Then you have the ones who make the money and they're just fine because they were able to maintain.
Well, I told you what it was a couple weeks ago, bro. Fame is a drug.
Yeah. You're right.
Once you retire and have all the money in the world and you have no responsibilities and nobody's talking about you, it takes a couple days to even process all of that. Yeah. Fame is a drug.
And some days it takes years for people to process it because some people still don't understand what they have in front of them.
Yeah, I said on the podcast, Chael Sonnen said that. And he's a guy who retired and now he's looking for something to do, so he does a podcast. He stays around MMA, but just imagine if he was one of them people who wasn't a crazy great personality and he was just a good fighter, and then he retires and nobody's talking about him anymore. Fame is a drug. As crazy as it may sound to people, it's a drug.
Doom in the chat says he made over $16 million in his career and now he's homeless. I like to want to know what they'll have.
It money away.
There's
man.
plenty. There's plenty that happens.
A lot, but you gotta understand. I think one thing that we need to. Well, I ain't gonna say we, but if you ever watched the 30 for 30 called Broke, I'm almost certain that he was a victim of something like that because
I've hesitated to watch it because I've seen it. I have access to all the 30 for 30s because I have ESPN Plus. That's one of the ones I've kind of stayed away from.
Yeah, because you got to understand, even though he makes $16 million, somebody's getting this, somebody's getting that, your agent's getting that, you paying off this. I'm not saying it's easy to blow $16 million, but there are situations that you could be put in to where okay, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you also have the family who guilt trip you into helping.
Right.
You have your boys that you shouldn't have kept around in your former life.
Right.
And it piles up after a while. You got investments. People tell you to invest in shit. Goes downhill. You don't get your investment back. All the money you invested. Money can go quick, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially when there's none coming in. Mm. When your bank account's just going down, it's not going up.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't. I mean, we're not the ones. We're not all millionaires, but we've seen this happen to where you have some players go broke. I mean, you hear not only just players, you've heard some celebrities, or some people who's in the music industry. They just go broke.
Oh, trust me, I'm getting trained on this shit daily. So I have so many testimonials in my head. It's it would like I'm to the point where it's like, yeah, that shit would like never happen to me. Because I've seen so many examples like before me. It's like,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of it has to do with upbringing too. I don't know what his upbringing was like.
Yeah, that could be something to do with it. Yep.
A lot of that, it's just like DJ said, man. When you come up and you don't have anything, and then all of a sudden you have everything,
Right.
it's jarring. You know what I'm saying? It's jarring. It's you might not know how to deal with it, especially considering, he was one of the best players in college basketball. Him and Jameer Nelson that year, that they were at St. John's.
Right.
And then they come out and, like I said, it's different, bro. It's your life changes, man. Like, it's not an exaggeration. People say my life changed overnight. It's not a fucking exaggeration.
No. I don't know. I mean, you got anything else, DJ?
No, I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I think we've covered a lot as far as Delonte is concerned. It's just, I'm like, I'm not gonna say that his success came quick. He just didn't know how to handle success after his playing days were over.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing about it. Like, he did not know how to maintain afterwards, and that's another thing. Like what Bills was saying, like after a while, once you're done, like you said, that guy who stayed away. I mean, he stayed around MMA because he had nothing else to do. It's pretty much the same thing. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, his last roster he was on, NBA roster, was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Then he played for the Texas Legends.
2012?
Texas Legends, that's an NBA G League team.
Mm-hmm.
Then he played for a Chinese basketball.
Yeah, he did go overseas for a little bit.
Yeah, so it's it just gets, I guess, shaky after. I mean, 2012. Jesus Christ.
It's like gun charge, drug charge, battery here, and then this shit.
But yeah, Ravens, we do understand that the agent do work for them, but don't the agent get paid for whatever they get?
The agent is not a psychologist.
And he has 2 sons.
Yeah. But don't the agent get a cut? I mean, I could be wrong. Is it backwards?
Basically.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, the agent gets, I would say,
like a percentage.
A percentage of. I mean, I guess a manager and an agent are different, but the agent essentially gets. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can either do a flat fee monthly, or he gets a percentage of whatever he gets you, whether it's endorsements or whatever. That's just something that you have to work out with them, because it's different from agent to agent. Obviously.
You can. I mean, I'll admit that I'm a little ignorant on that one, because I thought that you still had to pay the agent for getting you the deals.
Of course you do. No, you do. You definitely
that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Oh, no, hell yeah. You definitely do 100%. But there's also a flat fee with some people that you pay monthly.
That's true.
All right. I got a random thing. Did anyone just catch this brawl in Kansas in college basketball?
No.
Apparently one of the fights occurred with some of the people in the stands too.
No, boy.
Hold up, I'll send it to y'all DMs. Hold up.
Speaking of that, while you do that, Doom Eternal.
Did it.
Y'all don't know
shit.
Y'all don't know.
Oh shit.
Y'all don't know anything about Doom Eternal. We'll touch on that real quick. I think this game is gonna be the hell is that? Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, these motherfuckers.
They're scrapping for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're sitting there fighting.
You see homeboy that got tossed though?
Yeah, the dude in the suit that got tossed.
Jeez, them boys wilding.
That's what I saw that. I was just like, hold up, this didn't just happen. I just looked at it real quick before I sent it, and I was like,
yeah, I'm gonna put that in the chat so y'all can check that out.
Anybody that follows me on Twitter, I'll just retweet it real quick. Look for
Ravens Nation said that. Ravens Nation said that Warren Sapp never got screwed by his agent, or how other guys did. He didn't work for his agent. Without you, they would have a job. Yeah, I agree. I want to talk about Doom Eternal real quick, real quick, because I know Bill's. You're not big on Doom, are you?
I've never played it.
Never played Doom. DJ,
I've watched gameplay. I just
I haven't played the recent Dooms but I played Dooms in the past, including the last one before they redid it again, where it was claustrophobic in nature, which I thought was a lot scarier. I couldn't finish that game because it was just the way they had that Doom set up. Those monsters could come out of anywhere, and it was kind of like a setup. I don't know if it came out around the same time as Dead Space, but Dead Space kind of did the same thing too.
This was Doom 3, right?
I believe so, because that was the one that was because it went away from all conventional Doom. Because Doom, basically, what you see Doom now with the updated graphics and all that is basically what Doom was at the beginning.
Yeah, it was the old Doom, right?
Yeah, this Doom was pretty much claustrophobic, and even in the movie,
that's the one where you had the little light. You had the light. Yeah, that's Doom 3. That's Doom 3. Yeah.
You go back and watch that gameplay on YouTube. No, you ain't want to watch it.
Yeah, that was an intense one. But yeah, I hope Doom try to go back to a little bit more of a storyline. My thoughts real quick. I hope they do, because Doom 2016 didn't too much have a storyline. It was kind of bland, just run and shoot, kind of like the first one was. And the game looks phenomenal though. I think it looks really good. So I'm gonna be looking out for that. Probably be a game that I end up getting. But I know, like, you guys don't have much to talk about on it. I just wanted to talk about it. And anybody in the chat who's willing to give it a look, I recommend it. I think the game would probably even look good on consoles. So I mean, I think it's the way to go as far as that.
I tell you what, if that game somehow comes out on a Stadia.
Oh Lord!
And they're already just recently they talked about their player base is dwindling.
We're not talking about a player base per game. We're talking about player. We're talking about player base like in general, like the entire game.
And what's going on is that the people that bought the Stadia Pro subscription, if they had the free 3 months, drop dead date is February 21st, when most of those players will be coming off that free subscription, and not a lot of people are looking to continue that subscription.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna renew that shit. That's gonna be a wrap.
Yo, no wonder Kansas State was fighting. Them motherfuckers lost 81-59.
I told you.
I found a full video. Oh, I see what happened.
Yeah, K-State never been that good.
So homeboy got blocked at the end of the game, and then the dude that blocked him stared him down, and I started a fight.
Oh, wow.
So then apparently, did that motherfucker pick up a chair?
Uh-oh. We got Georgetown versus China? Is this what's going on?
What else y'all got? We can close this out.
I don't got anything else, I don't think.
Yeah, I've been sitting here also watching this impeachment for most of the day, so.
I haven't had a chance to get a look at it.
Well, it's procedural stuff, so nothing really has happened.
Right. It's supposed to be making a case, and the other side make the case.
All I know is that CNN can't breathe without this man's name in their mouth. So so CNN is getting all the coverage, getting all the money, making a whole lot of money from all this, and at the end of the day, that dude is still going to be in office.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. I'm gonna look at it.
See what shenanigans they pull up there.
Right, I'm gonna look at it eventually.
All that your taxpayers' money.
It's supposed to last a few days, so I'm gonna look into that.
Bills, what you last for a long time.
I'd like to congratulate Kemba Walker for now being 1-28 against LeBron in his career.
God dang.
Apparently, that one win makes LeBron trash, and he can't play basketball anymore. So, shout out to Kemba Walker for ending LeBron's career. Apparently,
who's taking Kemba Walker serious?
Look, I'm not bashing Kemba Walker, but the motherfucker was 0-28 against LeBron prior to.
I'm not bashing him, but
Kemba's a baller, yo.
I'm not bashing him either. I'm just like, okay, you know what I mean?
He's a baller. I'm happy to see him in a bigger market.
Yeah, he deserves.
But ESPN was the one that said, "Oh, well,
I mean, who else? I mean,
1-28, 1-28 against LeBron." So
who else? Really?
Oh boy, that whole fight's already turning racial. Somebody already talking about coded language. I'm like, come on.
Well, I'm not surprised. I don't have anything. We'll be back Thursday. We'll come up with some different topics. Don't want to dwell on the XFL back to back, so we'll probably talk about that next Tuesday. So we'll come up with other topics.
One more thing. I just saw this just now. It said associate. This is really into Antonio Brown's in that situation. I know we asked about that. Apparently, an associate of his, believed to be his trainer, was taken into custody, arrested, and charged with burglary, with battery, a felony, according to that. So it wasn't even Antonio Brown's.
No, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. No, let me tell you what.
Unless he took the blame.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly. I could promise you that's what happened.
That's probably what they spent
all that time. They were doing all that time to plot.
Right.
And they did all that time to plot and say, how are we going to get through this? All right, you do this. We going to do that. And we'll make sure you pay when you get out. Don't worry about it. We'll get the best lawyers for you.
I don't think Antonio Brown was the mastermind behind that. You got to have some.
No, I think all his other people
be able to come up with something that.
Right. Like I said, we'll be back Thursday. We'll probably talk a little bit about this Antonio Brown situation, if anything jumps up about it. It's still ongoing, so I didn't want to talk about it this episode. Doom, thank you for the kind words. Once again, he came through. He says, great podcast, fellas. Really enjoyed listening while playing Super Bowl on the NES. Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES. All right.
There we go.
Can't beat that.
Since it's Tecmo Super Bowl, obviously the Washington Redskins were the best team in that game.
I'm trying to think. Oh, we just have to come up with topics as they fly. Right now, nothing off the top of my head.
Okay, so it wasn't a chair, but it was close enough. It was a fucking stool.
Yeah, it was a chair.
That the band was sitting on. Basically, yeah, a chair.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. iTunes, SoundCloud.
Like, you ain't using it.
That's crazy.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. You can kind of find us there when you want to listen to us when we're not live. Catch my stream tomorrow. I'll be streaming on Twitch. All that link down in the description. DJ's going to put up.
Just got a question from from Twitch.
I'm not answering that. Come on, man. Really?
Come on, son.
What happened on Twitch?
Come on, man.
Son.
Bro.
Really, son?
What happened on Twitch?
He asked, do I like football?
But your name, okay.
Come on, son. Come on.
Catch me on Twitch tomorrow. I will be streaming some football.
Well, that answered that fucking question, don't it? Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a helmet as an avatar. What do you think?
Yes.
No disrespect, bro, but really?
Well, hey, man.
Well, all three of our icons have footballs in them.
To him, it's not a football helmet. It's like a protective head device or some stupid shit.
Whatever.
And then also the clue in the middle is that's my actual picture of me playing football. So,
right,
I am a football player. Okay.
Who doesn't like football? Let me stop. Go.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and close this out, man. Sorry that you came late. Low PCS 90. If you like to subscribe, I mean, yeah, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel or you can follow me on Twitch. And we'll be back on Thursday. And if you have more questions, you can talk to us then. We do
Smart questions.
But we do appreciate you coming through. But I was just kind of odd that you was asked that. You playing for FC Barcelona?
You were talking about soccer.
Oh, you play for FC Barcelona? Okay.
I had a distinct thought that
I kind of thought about that in the back of my.
About to say it too.
I kind of thought that in the back of my mind too. I was like, he can't be talking about.
He says he plays for Barcelona.
Yeah, he said he play for FC Barcelona.
As in the Barcelona.
I have 14 million Instagram followers.
No.
What's your Instagram? Yeah, we're gonna do this live. Listen,
I can't. I'm ready to go. He can talk all the
time. We need to find this out right now.
Ask that motherfucker what his IG is.
Yeah,
I'm not.
We need to find this out right now.
I can give.
No.
VF, this is actually important, bro.
Yes. Let's.
If this motherfucker got 14 million
I knew
followers,
he was joking.
Exactly. I kind of figured that.
All right, let's get out of here.
I kind of figured that. I was like,
I like him. I'm not a football player. Yeah, we kind of. Yeah, that's
fake ass Neymar.
That's why I didn't follow up with it. You guys have a good night. You know where to find us on Twitter. Catch us on the podcast when we're not live. See y'all on the Twitch tomorrow.
Damn, they're showing a Vegas Golden Knight player picking up his teeth off the ice. Lots of blood on the ice too. I mean, NHL '93.
I'm just trying to get this intro done.
Go ahead, bro. Outro, by the way.
Yeah, that's how discombobulated I am. I don't know. I'm just waiting for y'all to finish. So as soon as I get it done, something else come up. Messi is the GOAT. Okay. Y'all know where to find us once again. iTunes, SoundCloud. I don't have Instagram. I just thought about that. Catch us on Twitter. All of the handles are right there. When we're not live, you catch us on the podcast. All that's in the description. Google Play, iTunes, search us there. SoundCloud, search First and Framerates. I'll be live on Twitch tomorrow, and you can catch us then. And catch DJ's video. It should be up in 30 minutes?
Yep, about 30 minutes. State of Decay 2, The Nightmare Legacy, or The Legacy Nightmare. I forgot which way I have it titled, but that's the new season because the first season fell short. They only went like 3 episodes before everyone was murdered.
Right. So. All right, so we out. Low PCS 90. Go ahead and follow us on here. And go to the YouTube channel as well. All that's in the description on Twitch. And we might talk about football.
Wow.
See y'all Thursday. Peace.
Peace. Congratulations, Larry Walker.
And peace, DC Defenders.